Hello, welcome to this Ghost of Tsushima video. We're going to be talking about the multiplayer. A lot of cool stuff going on with this thing. I've spent hundreds of hours in it, and I do recommend for people to play this. Definitely, you can play it before you play the story, but I say play it after because you're going to get a lot more benefits. And that's going to be the first tip before we get into all of the breakdown and jump into what the game's offering for that. And man, oh man, I gotta say, take your
Choose,
time,
and I'll tell
enjoy
you.
the story, come back later. Gonna be watching a little bit of PC visuals, just kind of give you guys the information so you can see for yourself and decide if you want to try this out. And if you already did, that's fine. I got some tips for you guys as well. All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, you're looking at the actual menu for Legends. It's called Legends. All you have to do is go to the menu or press options while you're playing the main story, and it can lead you right in here. And this is the HUD for the multiplayer. And we're going to get into a lot of stuff.
I'll
First off, I
share
just want to talk about
any
the different
story with
modes
you.
so that you can know what you can experience. Quick play is just going to let you play all three different modes. But we want to talk about the story first. In the story, this is a full experience, guys. There's a really great plot if you pay attention to what's going on. I'm not going to spoil it, of course, but it's very awesome. There's three different difficulties, and you get top tier rewards so that you can upgrade your character, get unlock awesome stuff, which I'll get into in a minute. But this is, to me, some of the most fun stuff played with friends and family, and spent hundreds of hours replaying all the different difficulties, helping out other friends and things like that. It was a good time, and it's something that really brought me into co-oping in story experiences, and I think they did it probably some of the best that I've seen when it comes to just a co-op experience. And speaking of co-op, this is kind of the defense game mode where you're going to be protecting different areas, and this is a cool, fun thing to experience as well, where you're just trying to get the best rewards. You can farm them in here and maximize your guild, your build, your playstyle, your gear, all of that good stuff. So you can get in here. There's a lot of different maps, and the challenge is to survive all the different waves of enemies, which is very fun to do with your friends. Then you have Rival. Rival is very cool. On this save here, I only have this one unlocked, but basically, it's think of this as you playing against two other players, you and your teammate, and you want to do the best during the mission. You can see the other guys across the way, and you can cast, for example, curses to debuff them or buff the enemies and basically make it hard for them in the game when you play against them, which is such a cool thing, and it's a fun thing to do as you go forward. Then this right here is the king of it all. It's an actual raid, well designed, very difficult in certain parts, and a really good time. Okay. Three chapter, and this actually closes out the main story. It's actually really well done to kind of help explain what the story was and what was going on. The story builds up to lead you to this, and then you play this, and man, oh man, this was a blast to me. I really loved it, and it's awesome stuff. So give it a chance. See what you think. See what you feel. Let me know if you like it. I will say, make sure you're maxed out, and we're gonna get into some of that stuff in just a second. But before we do, you can see here there's very cool challenges and things you can do to unlock. There's a leaderboard for all of the modes. Very good stuff. But now we're gonna get into the meat of what you should be doing and setting up. As I said, you want to build your playstyle proper. This game is very different in some regards to the original base game. There's monsters and creatures type of things, and so you have to be powerful. You're going to come in here, you're going to grind us through those stories, run through it as best as possible, and it's going to allow you to get top tier gear. Talking about really great stuff. And one thing that people don't know is modifying it is going to make a big difference. You can actually tweak everything on this. For example, I can re-roll everything by forging it. I can just re-roll one of the properties. Say I want this cooldown change. I just click here and waste my currency, which I'm not going to do right now. And then as well as probably one of the most important is the perks. Okay. What type of perk do you have and what type of playstyle you want to do? It's determined by you, the player, of course. So just take the time, look into what you like and what you feel is best for your playstyle. Combining that overall here is going to make a huge difference. And before we get into all of that, I want to talk about the four classes that they have. Each of them are very unique. We have the samurai, top tier stuff, very DPS oriented, loving him. All of these guys are DPS, they can do some great damage, but he is sword based mostly. Then you have the hunter who got the long range and some buffs for long range, and that's what you want to focus on when you're using them. Then the Ronin's more of a healer, so you're gonna pull him out when you want to heal your teammates and do things like that. And the assassination, of course, better with assassinations, but you can use these weapons, intertwining some of them, most of them, and basically create the best place down. You can swap to any of them after before missions, but I would recommend just sticking to one, maximizing that to get the best gear and doing what I said with modifications as you get to the high level. Now, I want to talk about some of this very cool stuff when it comes to the skill tree. These skill trees are not like the base game, okay? Since this is a actual different mode, they actually gave you a whole new skill tree, and some of them are base game like, but then there's others that are specific to this playstyle that I absolutely love and that you can basically use. So, for example, the samurai is taking out some health from an enemy, and every time you do damage to an enemy, you steal health. So it's a basically health stealing ability, and there's plenty more. But the point is, that's what you want to do and focus on, and you should be good to go. Each of these have their own unique elements. We're not going to get into every single one. I just wanted to give you a pointers. Now we want to talk about the gear, even though this doesn't affect what you can do. For example, I have the Horizon Forbidden West outfit, and I love it. But there's a bunch of collectibles, like this was from the Nightmare story, and then these are from different challenges and things that I unlocked. So very cool for each character. You're able to get nice outfits, helmets, and so much more, depending on your playstyle, what you like best. Personally, I switch it up all the time. And so just check it out and do what you do. And you should be good to go. Emotes and things like that in the game, of course, you're playing co op, so it's fun to kind of troll with the friends and have a little bit of a blast with that. But that's the general breakdown of this game. One
Which
thing I
of these
can say
legends
as
interest
we
you?
showcase some footage of the storyline stuff is that in this game, it's new for PC, so guys probably will be matchmaking a lot on PS5 as well. There's still people playing it right now, but you can just go into a Discord, hit some people up, and say, "Hey, man, we want to jump on," and people will come by and play with you, and you can get this going with the raid. I personally also want to jump in to do the raid again and unlock some of the other stuff because I had a new save and been trying to unlock everything all over again. So feel free to jump in with me. Hit me up in the comments. We can have some fun and vibe with this game because it is so special to me. That being said, that is the video just breaking down some things that you can expect for the multiplayer. One thing I will say is compliment your team with the specific class that you have in whatever way. If you're DPS focused, make sure you put in a lot of work. If you're a Ronin, make sure you heal them and go from there. But I appreciate y'all. Go ahead and check out my previous video breaking down Ghost of Tsushima. Should be popping up now. See you there. Peace.